Hey everyone, it is me, Lee again. Today isn't a review as you might have noticed from the title. We are talking about Square Enix and more importantly how bad Takashi Kiryu as the president and CEO of the company seems to be for them. Today, January 2nd, 2024, Kotaku released an article about how Kiryu wants to aggressively use AI for development. Kiryu has been the CEO for about a year. He was promoted after Yosuke Matsuda stepped down. Between Kiryu and Matsuda, you may remember Square chasing trends like mobile games, battle royale games, making Avengers a failed live service, their NFT game Symbiogenesis. These men have been sprinting trying to catch up to what is trendy. The problem is none of these trends are good for gamers, so they aren't good for a gaming company. As gaming becomes more and more of a luxury with PCs pricing people out of the market with insanely expensive components, or scalpers squeezing console stocks so hard that no one can afford them, making games worse for gamers isn't the way to stay alive. The largest problem I see with using AI for writing a game is how it is used. Is it being used for scripts? That will have to be heavily edited. AI, even good ones, have issues listening to commands and staying on task with a narrative. You can pull a cool 2 or 3 story paragraphs out of something like ChatGPT, but it quickly starts to just ignore what you tell it to do, and the limitations placed on it. If it is used for coding, it could speed up the process. And as someone who doesn't code, I won't delve deep into it, but I know you can ask it to help with coding, and it can pump out something that might have taken an hour to figure out otherwise. The next problem is voice acting. Now I hope this isn't the goal, but also there are voice actors that won't want to work on a game created by AI, so losing talent right off the top. How about art? This one is actually getting less likely unless they only use their own art to feed it. More and more artists are resorting to things like Nightshade to corrupt their images when AI tries to scan it, and that is honestly pretty cool. My big issue with Square Enix is that they obsessed with NFTs, and that is weird because if you have followed them at all, you would have heard last year that most NFTs are worthless now. I will assume Square is following them too, so they know that this is a scam. They are going to ask us gamers to pay, let's say, $5 for something that will be worth a penny within 6 months. Companies like Square keep making outlandish claims like they will have NFTs that cross over to other games, but half the time they won't even let a save cross over to the next game. So how do they intend on working with someone else to make an item cross over to another game by another developer? I have been gaming for around 32 years. My first game that I truly loved was Final Fantasy IV. The game that made me a gamer was Final Fantasy VI. Square holds the rights to some of my favorite games of all time, and I am so sad to see it fall apart so quickly because their current president doesn't seem to get gaming. I will say that at the rate of failures he is causing, I don't think Kiryu will make it very far into 2026 before they boot him. I am not saying that Square needs to go back to just old-school RPGs. I am not even saying they shouldn't innovate. I am saying they need to focus on their audience and to make great games first. If they don't do that, they will end up being a developer that only reboots popular IPs that they know will get sales, and that isn't a good fate for gamers as a whole. If you don't want to buy Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, don't do it. If you don't want to buy anything else from Square until they get their heads out of their asses, I get it. I don't have a one-size-fits-all solution, and I won't pretend like I do. I feel like this is a self-correcting issue. These things will fail, they will get pushed back, and they will either force Kiryu to step down or all of Square Enix will start to crumble. Either they fix it or they fail. I do plan on doing more of these short essay-type videos in the future, so if you enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe. I release movie and video game reviews, AI generated for some and others written by me. More essays to come. I have 3 I am still working on. Until next time.